Hello Eternity there. I'll be a facilitator in this tutorial showing you how to write Sophia smart contract codes locally using the AEproject tool. I am Emmanuel Joseph Jet, ækiti Embassy Lead and Ambassador. Before we proceed, kindly take note of the following prerequisites. 1. You must have installed Node.js and NPM, which stands for Node Package Manager, installed on your device. 2. You must have installed Docker and Docker Compose. 3. You must have VS Code installed. And lastly, you must have completed the Hello World with Sophia tutorial. For easy installation of AEproject and other necessary tools, check out the tutorial video that explains AEproject and shows steps to have a perfectly working AEproject tool on your Ubuntu or PC, Windows PC. Links to the videos will be provided below, and links to the Hello World with Sophia tutorial will be provided below. So, I'll wait for you to have AEproject installed on your device if you don't already have it. Great. Now that you have AEproject working perfectly on your device, let's get started with coding locally with AEproject by creating our project folder. For this tutorial, I'll make use of Ubuntu and will explain how Windows users can follow suit. So, to do that, I'm going to add to my terminal by typing Ctrl+Alt+T. Okay, then with this, I'm going to type in make directory, then the home symbol, and coding underscore locally. Okay, this has created a coding underscore locally folder for me. For Windows user, you can simply locate any convenient directory for you and create this folder coding locally. So the next thing I'm going to do is to open this folder with VS Code. And to do that, I'm just going to type in coding code, then the home symbol, then coding underscore locally. Great. This has opened VS Code for me. As you can see, I have this folder coding locally, and I have my terminal opened already. So if you don't have your terminal opened, what you need to do is to press the Ctrl plus the home symbol, as I did the other time, to open and close it, or you can easily come here and click on the terminal, new terminal to open yours. So all other codes to be used in this tutorial will be on this VS Code terminal. Great. So let's initialize our coding locally project, the folder, with AEproject by typing AEproject init. This will initialize our folder with AEproject, and as you can see, the command is being executing already, and let's wait a bit for it to be completed. Okay, it's initializing AEproject, it's installing app SDK, and it's installing AEproject locally. As you can see, we have these folders already and these files. And it should be done in a second now. Great. Perfect. Now that we have our project, as the command has created several folders and scripts. As you can see, we have a lot of folders here. And inside those folders, we have a lot of scripts. You can see, I would explain that. And let me start with the contract directory. So the contract directory is where you can create smart contracts. And we have a simple smart contract to justify this. Then we have the deployment directory that contains the deployment script. Let me open that, not here. Okay, we have the deployment script, and we have the Docker directory that has all the Docker configuration files. Then we have the integration, which has the smart contract integration settings. We have the node modules that contains all the node JS packages, and we have this test. It's a directory where you can write unit test, and we have a sample test script already for us. So for this tutorial, we would focus on the contract directory. So I'm going to close all and head back to contract. And as you can see, we have this contract sample in which the project generated for us. Perfect. So we would create a file called helloworld.aes. As you can see, this is example contract.aes. So we want to create helloworld.aes, and we can do that by typing touch dot space contract, which the dot means this directory. So contracts, and I'm going to say helloworld.aes. Great. Now we have the helloworld.aes folder. So the next thing we want to do is to copy our hello world contract of our previous tutorial and paste it here. So let me get that. Okay, now I have the contract and I'm going to paste it here. Good. If your code is not as colorized as mine, it simply means you need to install the Sophia extension of VS Code. And to do that, you can easily head to the extension section here and type in Sophia. With that, you can see these three extensions. We have Sophia by Neil Radford. We have the one of YB64. So you can install this YB64 as other awesome packages included in it. So that's for the extension. So let's continue coding. Great. So we want to make adjustment to our record state, one. We want to make adjustment to this init function. Two, we want to make adjustment to the CLO function. And lastly, we want to create a new function called getInfoSession function. Sorry. So for the state, we want to simply move to the next line, add a comma here, and add a user variable. So we're going to make this variable equals to an address, right? And we are going to change this word to name. Okay, for the init, we want to do the same thing. And this time we want to make the user equals to call.caller. Perfect. Then we have to change this word to name. Okay, before we move to the CLO function, this user equals to call.caller simply means the address of the person, the address that is deploying the contract. So when our contract is initializing, this user will be saved as the address deploying the contract, while this name will be saved as an empty string. Perfect. So for our CLO function, now we want to save just the name we get from the function parameter in our name state now, not the old written. So for that, I'm going to change this name and add this symbol to it. I'm going to leave this and I'm going to change this new word. I'm going to change everything. I'm going to change it to greetings and leave this the way it is. Sorry, it should be greetings. Yes, perfect. Now I'm going to also change this word because we've changed the variable name here. I'm going to change this to name and change this greetings now to name with the symbol. So our state, our record state name child now would have the name given to this parameter. While say hello function would reply, would give us an output of hello, the name. So for our get info function, I'm going to head back here and I'm going to say public entry point entry point, and I'm going to say get underscore info. This time it's just going to be equals to, because, and head down here, give a signified indentation of this, and put in the word state. Okay, now we know what this public, what this entry point, and what this get info means. So we adding state here, what it's going to do is our get info session function would return all the objects in the state, all the item in the state as an object. So our get info function now is to give us the values of everything inside the state as an object. Great. For more inquiry on AE Studio, you can reach me via our website ækiti.com or by adding a comment to this video. As we are done with this tutorial, don't forget to subscribe and hit the bell button to get notified when we release a new tutorial video that will show you how to deploy this smart contract now to the testnet network using the AEproject tool. So, see you in the next video. Bye.